Hello, everybody. Sandra Adelaja here. We are continuing our series on leadership, and we are talking about self-leadership. And today's topic is self-leadership leads to team leadership. 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 So, we have spoken about leadership in forms of people development. But now I'm talking about leadership in terms of team development. You see, when Jesus in Mark 1:17 met with his future disciples, he specifically told them something. He said, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And we have already examined that scripture my previous teaching, but I want to go back to it for a few seconds, for a few minutes. And so Jesus had a plan. And the plan that he had is that he was going to make these people become somebody. He was going to make them and develop them into people. So it is when you develop people or other people into the person that they are supposed to be, and they are around you, that's what we call team. When you have people around them that you are leading towards a certain goal, and you are developing them to become your right hand people, to become co-bearers of that vision, to become co-bearers of that burden that you have, and to become people who carry the burden together with you. That is what we call a team. I have a book here that is called The Team Building Skills of Jesus. Team Building Skills of Jesus. And that book will help you, because it's going to show you a lot of the things that Jesus did to be able to have the formidable team that he got to now change the world. So Jesus had a plan for his team even from the very moment that he was calling them. So that's what great leaders do. Great leaders have the ability to look at people and see their future. Not like prophesying or some gifts of the spirit, but it's just a leadership trait. It's a leadership skill that you look at people and you see that no, this man is not just a fisherman. This is not just a fisherman. No, this person, yes, he's failed now. It's not just a failure. From that failure, we could make him to become this and this, and that's how you begin. That's why leaders begin to invest in people who have failed. That's why leaders invest in people who have been down and out. That's why leaders invest in people who are going the opposite direction before they met them, because they see something in them beyond what those people see in themselves. In most of the times, what a leader sees in you, you don't even see it in yourself. You don't even believe in yourself that you could do that. But that is why a leader is a leader. A leader sees deeper than the obvious. A leader sees something in you that you might not have seen in yourself as well. A leader sees in you your future, your destiny. A leader is able to project into the future and see into the purpose of God for the people that he meets, even when they are still unbelievers. In this particular instance, when Jesus met his disciples, or most of his disciples, most of them were unbelievers still. But when you are still unbelievers, a good leader can still look into you and see some great potential. Either you're a believer or you're an unbeliever. It just depends on the skills of the leader to be able to look deeper than the obvious, to be able to look deeper than the visible, things that we normally see. So a leader can look deep and see that you have some potential, you have some leader, and for you to become a team developer, you've got to be able to see what each person has to bring to your team. You have to see that person has some skills, some abilities that they will be needed in the team that you are building. So for you to be a real great leader, that leadership quality and leadership ability you have will lead you to building teams and to forming a team, to forming a group of people around you, people who will understand, people who you will communicate your vision to, and people who will catch the vision and run with the vision. And that's what we saw Jesus doing. So when he saw those fishermen, he saw in them success, but actually they had just passed through failure. They had just failed. But Jesus knew what to do to give them faith back and to restore their faith. And that's what great leaders do. When great leaders meet people who fail, like what did Jesus do? He restored their faith. How did he restore their faith? He said, okay, go back. Okay, you are finished fishing the whole night and you didn't catch anything? No problem. Then he restored their faith by doing the miracle and telling them, okay, go back to that sea and go back to that boat and try again. And then they caught so much, their faith is restored. And when their faith is restored like that, they know who did it for them, and they begin to become your followers. That is the strategy. That is how we do it. When you meet anybody, make sure that you are not in a hurry to tell them that, oh, you want to come to church or become a fisherman. Jesus didn't bother to tell them that they are going to become fishers of men. He first of all dealt with their situation. So the same thing, that's what great leaders do. If you are a great leader, you need to see the people where they are and come down to their level, and then give them restoration, give them healing, give them hope, give them deliverance, give them, deliver them from the oppression that they have been in, deliver them from whatever has been oppressing them. So get them out of the situation where they are. And that's what we saw Jesus doing. Jesus saw them that they had just failed, were just fishing all night and they couldn't catch anything. So Jesus knew what to do. He needed to restore their faith. He needed to give them courage, to give them faith, to heal them, to bring them healing. So what Jesus did was that he saw their situation, came to their level, and if you want to become a great leader, you need to learn to come to the level of the people. Come to the level of the people that you're ministering to. Speak their language. Talk to them on the same level. Come to their level. Don't be on your ivory tower. So he came to their level. Then what did he do? He saw their frustration. He saw their pain. So the next thing you are supposed to do, if you want to become a great people developer and you want to build it, you want to be successful in building a team, see the need of the people that came to you, and when you see that need, do something about it. Do something about it. Even if the only thing you are able to do about the need of the people that you are meeting is just to let them know that you care. Show that. Let them know that you care. Do something to let them know that you care. Because people don't really care how much you know. People want to know how much you care. So when you see them in that kind of disillusionment where they were in, where they didn't catch any fish after working all night, you need to give them understanding. You need to let them know that, hey guys, I understand where you're coming from. I understand your pain. And then you need to provide them some relief. You need to try to, reach out to them and try to, give them a form of, encouragement in their situation. So even if you don't have anything like material or financial, but give them the word of encouragement. Let them know that you believe in them. So that's what Jesus did. Jesus said, no, don't worry. And he gave them hope. He gave them hope by telling them, go back to that sea, go back to that boat, and try again. And that is where the miracle power of God came to manifestation. This is what the people in Nigerian churches are getting wrong. Yeah, they believe in miracles. They believe in signs and wonders. We all believe in it. But the best time to manifest that sign and wonder is when you just meet people in despair, when people, people are just coming to God, or people are just getting acquainted with you. But when you turn that now to the regular exercise that you do every Sunday, when you turn Sunday service to a place of doing miracles and manifesting power and showing out what a miracle worker you are, then you turn people to vegetables. You turn them to vegetarians, to vegetables. They will never be able to be independent. They will never be grown enough. They will never be matured enough to be able to stand on their own, because you are always entertaining them with miracles every time. So what Jesus did is that when he met them at the lowest point, and that is when he needed to do miracles. So miracles are for people that are down and low, when you are meeting with them, to pick them up. But once Jesus did the miracle and picked them up and restored their hope, that job is done. It was no more trying to impress them with miracles anymore. What he did to tell them, he went to the next level. This is how to build a team. He now began to tell them about the future he sees for them. He now began to tell them about the promises that are waiting for them, the great heights that are waiting for them, the great future that is waiting for them. So he began to tell them, you know what? You are not going to be in this fishing business for long anymore. You don't need to be here. He said, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. I will make you to become fishers of men. You will be fishermen. So he gave them greater challenge, greater vision, greater height. He began to throw them perspective. He didn't sit down with them and say, okay, you saw the miracle I did yesterday, that is nothing. Tomorrow I will even do greater one. Or they talk tomorrow, you will see. I will even show you greater. He's not trying to impress them that he's a miracle worker. He's not trying to impress them that, hey, look, see, I will do this. He's not playing with miracles. His focus is not on the miracle that has happened. His focus is about building personality into them. His focus is about, building them into men that will be able to carry the vision. Building them into men that will be able to do exactly what he's doing. Building them into men that will be able to understand, the kingdom. Building them into men that will be able to take responsibility for other men. That's why he said, I will make you to become fishers of men. You now will be doing what I'm doing now. You see what I just did to you? You will now be doing that to other people. I've just got you, like you catch fish, I caught you. Now you will be the one catching other people. But no more fish, you'll be catching people. So he's giving them a sketch of their life. He's giving them a vision and a purpose. He's giving them direction. That is how you build a team. If you want to build a team, you don't just tell your people that I am the vision bearer. What do they say in Nigeria? I am the visionary. Not just visionary. They use another word. Were you there when God called me? I am the vision. This thing. The person, the set man, or whatever. They use some language all the time in that Nigeria, and make sure that they keep you down. They keep you down. They say, okay, you can only help me. I am and even if you want to challenge them, there will be other people there that will say, oh, are you the one? Are you there is something they call it. Are you the visionary? Are you the vision bearer? Are you the one that God called? Are you the one that God called? Okay, not you now. You can only support the one here. No. That's not what Jesus did. Jesus didn't say all of them should just come and build his own vision. Jesus didn't say all of them should just come and support his hand and just come and be here and working for him as laborers, like slaves. No. He was telling them about who they will become. He was telling them about their own vision. He was telling them about their own destiny, their own future. He was telling them about who he wants to make them into. That is how to build a team. If you really want to build a team, cast vision before your people. Cast vision before them of who they will become. Not just vision of who you will become, not just vision of who your church will be, what your church will become, not just vision of how big your church will be, so that they are just the ones, welcoming people to your church or building your church for you. No. Tell them about who they will become, how they will become what they will become. So if you be able to let people or build your, hope in people and let them know what is waiting for them, who you want to help them to become, that is how you build a team. That is how people join you. You are joining your team. They want to support you, and because they know that by supporting you, they are supporting themselves. That by doing what you tell them to do, that they are actually building their own lives and their own destinies. So that is what it means to be a team developer. So only when you develop a team like that, then you could guarantee your continuous development. Then you know that these people will be released tomorrow, but they will be released not because you are losing them. They will be released just the same way you release a seed. When you release a seed from your hand or from your barn to the soil, you actually you are investing that seed. You are sowing that seed. That seed will become multiplied. It will become much more than the very one seed that you had let go. So the same way is how great leaders think. They think about developing people to release them. They're developing people so that they will now become the carriers of the vision, in other places, even while you will not be around. So, it is a key to multiplication. There is no greater way to multiply than to develop people and to build teams. So build a team builder. Build team around the vision. And not just your own vision, but around their vision as well. And make sure that you give them vision. You make sure that everybody has their own vision. Contrary to what people have been saying in Nigerian churches these days, that you cannot have your own vision. That if you are in a church or you are in a team, you shouldn't have your own vision, because your own vision will mean division. You are bringing division to the team. No. Jesus didn't think like that. That is a secular concept that has come into the church. But Jesus' thought is that no, he himself will help all other people to get vision. He himself will help every other person to become a vision bearer and a vision carrier. And when you help them to build vision and they have their own vision and they are building their own vision, they are building that in your environment. They are building that under your canopy and under your umbrella. Why? Because you invested in them. You motivated them. You release them. You empower them. They will always know where they come from. Even if they don't know, other people know where they come from. Even if they pretend not to know, other people know who invested in them, who raised them up. So by raising up other people, you are actually raising yourself up as well. But when you are myopic and you are thinking that no, they must not have their own vision. Only my own vision will be here. Yeah, and they must always only work for your vision. Then you will die, and they will die with you because they have not been taught to have their own visions, and they have not been taught to live, independent of you. They have not been taught to be independent. They have not been taught to dream. And so when you die, they die with your vision, or they will, even if they are strong people and they are people of vision, then they will have to fight you to get to do their own thing, or they have to break from you, they have to cause conflict with you so that they will just get the freedom to do what they need to do. You don't have to make things go that bad. A true leader will lead, true leaders lead. Okay, let me say it this way. You as a leader, if you really want to become a great leader, there are two ways you can lead. You can either lead by compulsion or you can lead by inspiration. So you either lead by compulsion or you lead by inspiration. Compulsion is, okay, when I talk about compulsion here, I'm not talking about the positive compulsion. There could be compulsion that could be positive. You could compel people to do things for you in a more attractive and more inspiring way. But the compulsion that I'm talking about here is when you make people do things, either because you are using compulsion of law. You are saying, I am the head. You don't like the way the husbands do. They say, I'm the head of this family. The Bible says I'm the head, so that's all. You are using compulsion to subdue your wife, and she's not going to be happy. Even if she's pretending that she's submissive. Even if she's trying to be submissive, she's not going to be happy, and you are not going to be happy too because she's not happy. You are supposed to lead her through inspiration. The same thing a lot of leaders do. They will come forward with books like Loyalty and Disloyalty, and don't be disloyal, don't be rebellious, you are rebellious, you are a rebel, all kind of cliches, and they begin to stigmatize you and put fear in you. Oh, you want to be rebellious. Oh, you are rebellious. Oh, you don't obey me. Oh, God will punish you. Oh, I'm the leader. I'm the anointed. Don't touch the anointed. Those are compulsion method of leading. Oh, touch not the anointed. I am the anointed. You are nothing. And if you touch me, you are going to die. God will kill you. So that is one way of leading people, through compulsion. But that is only applied to slaves. You only use compulsion for slaves or for animals. You know the way cattle rearers carry sticks. Cattle rearers carry sticks, and the reason for that stick is because if a goat or a sheep or one of the animal is not obeying them, they beat him out. They put him to submission. They beat him. I've seen one time when a cattle rearer, one cow just sat down and said, "I'm not going anywhere." Maybe he got tired or something. He just sat there. The guy was beating him. He just turned his head and, "Oh God, I'm not standing up here." And he used compulsion to get him to push him around, kick him, beat him. That's compulsion. But in the kingdom of God, and even in humanity, you are not supposed to be, using compulsion upon another human being, because we all carry the image and likeness of God. We are all children of God. Any other person that you see around you, anybody that you see around you, is just like you. He was made in the image and likeness of God. So to be using compulsion to deal with people and say you are their leader or you are their pastor, that's treating them like a slave. So you only use compulsion like this to animals or to slaves. But human beings are not slaves, and human beings are not animals. So to be using compulsion, I will not give, that's what some people do. I will not give you food today. I will not allow you to do this. I will not give you money to go to the market. All kind of things like that. Those are compulsion measures. Yeah, maybe some of them might be necessary sometimes as tough love if there are no other ways. But that is not the best way to build a team. If you build a team on compulsion, who is going to implode one day? It's going to explode and implode from within, because you thinking that you got it all fixed, you got it all together, but they are not happy. And as long as they are not happy, it will just boom one day. They will see something will happen, and it will just go up ballistic. It will just explode because you have been using compulsion on them. You have been using compulsion on them. But the best way to do it, the best way to get people to join your team and to build with you is through inspiration. It's through inspiration. Is inspire them. Inspiration is the method that is for free men. Compulsion is the method that is for not free men or men under bondage, slave men. But for you to use inspiration to lead people, then you need a lot of understanding. First of all, you need to be able to see the situation they are in and to speak to their situation and show empathy or sympathy. So you need a lot of empathy before you be able to live by inspiration. Like Jesus showed us when he saw those people who had failed to catch any fish after working all night. He showed empathy. He showed understanding. So for you to be able to lead by inspiration, you need to be like Jesus in that sense. You need to show empathy, sympathy. Then you need to also be able to have to be kind, to lend a hand. If you want to really be able to lead by inspiration, you must be proactive in giving encouragement, being kind, giving kindness, giving support to people, and to inspire them to do what they need to do. So somebody a successful leader that will lead by inspiration needs to know the nature of men. You need to know the nature of men and study the people that you are leading. Study the people that are following you. Find out why they are behaving the way they behave. What led them to become like that? And that's one thing that sometimes not all leaders do well, because sometimes we don't find out why people are like this. What brought them to where they are? Why do they behave the way they are, the way they behave? But if you really want to live not by compulsion but by inspiration, you need to be patient. Be patient to find out from people why they behave the way they behave. What made them to become like that? What is the nature? What is the thing that made them to behave like that? So, as a leader of inspiration, you will need to have great knowledge of the people you lead, their nature, or what makes them to become who they are. All right, and then you'll be able to profile solution to them. You'll be able to come out with the right solution, the right attitude to be able to resolve their challenges. So you need to know how they think, how those people think, why they think the way they think, why they feel that way. And that's one of the challenges that I encountered when I started doing this, my live broadcast, because I had ministered only to Europeans all my life. When I was in Nigeria, I was not a minister, so I didn't have any opportunity to minister to black people. I didn't know Africans. Even though I'm African myself, I'm Nigerian, but I didn't know them. Even up to now, I still don't know them well. I'm still learning. Because I've learned the ways of Europeans, and I've ministered to them more so effectively. But each time I would come with my message, I was basically learning every day. I would read the comments, I would greet people. Just the reason I was reading comments and greeting people is because I was learning. I needed to learn the people I'm talking to. I needed to learn who they are, because I've discovered that the Nigerians that I grew up with, that I thought I knew to be Nigerians, they are totally different today. The Nigerians of my age, of my time, is totally different from the Nigerians that I know today. And most of the Nigerians that I know today, they've lived in Europe for less than 30 years. And if you have lived in Europe for less than 30 years, I don't know you anymore. But, it means you were in Nigeria when I had left. So the Nigeria you knew is not the Nigeria I knew. The Nigeria I knew is not the Nigeria you know. So So I needed to learn all the way. Why do they? Because some of the times the way they will react to some things used to just shock me. And some of the comments, the way what people say, what they talk about, why they feel angry. Sometimes they feel pain for what I say. Sometimes they are angered, they are angry at me, and sometimes they get, why do they behave like that? I didn't understand it. But for me to be a great leader, I must take my time and try to understand how people feel, what makes them to feel the way they feel, how people think, why they think like that, and how they act, and what makes them to act the way they act. So that's just some of the things that will help you to be able to, especially if you want them to become part of your team. If you just want to, bless them and let them go, we're fine. But if you want to build a team out of these people, well, this is one of the things you will need to know. You need to know the nature of the people you are leading. What makes them to think the way they think? Or, how do they think? Why do they think like that? Why did they become like that? How did they become like that? How do they feel? Why do they feel like that? What makes them feel the way they feel? Why do they act the way they act? What made them to act like that? How did they begin to act like that? All those things are things that a good leader must study. Let me give you some other point. If you really want to raise up a team of people, you need to learn to create the right atmosphere for them to grow. Not the right atmosphere in the sense that they will never have disagreements, or you could work on that too, but the most important atmosphere you want to give them is the atmosphere of growth, the freedom to grow, the freedom to express themselves, the freedom to be able to attain, dream. You want to create that kind of environment for them. The next thing you want to do is you want to understand, like I said, you want to understand their human needs and desires. You want to listen to them. You want to have a listening ear. Then you also want to, especially if they are your staff, if you are employing people to become your staff, your members, be open with them about three things. Talk to them about, make sure you are transparent with them in the area of money. Are you going to be paying them, or you are not going to be paying them? If you are not going to be paying them, do they agree to that? Discuss with them that finances. If you are going to pay them, how much are you going to be paying them? Are they happy with it? Secondly, discuss with them about personnel selection, about people, selection. Because you are employing people, they have to know the basic principles for which you are employing those things. What are the principles behind the people you want to bring to the table? You must have some rules to guide the people that you want to bring in. Then you want to also tell them about the plans for the future. What are the things they are working towards? What is the vision? What are the plans? What are the things they need to work towards? And what is the future of the organization going to be? What is their role in that future? And then you need to communicate to them to keep on developing people around them as well. So these are some of the things you want to develop. We want to talk to your team about it, your co-workers, especially people that are employed or people who are close to you, working with you as your team members. Finally, I would like to say the best way to avoid conflict and crisis in a team is to make sure that you are available. Let your people know that they could talk to you when they need you. You are available for them. You are available to hear their questions, their concerns, and to hear them out and to proffer solutions. You don't have to take all the decisions, but they just want to know that you are there for them. So if they know that you are accessible, then you have less, grumblings going on. You still have those things because it's natural for humans to be dissatisfied about things, but it won't be as bad. Well, I think my time is up, and thank you for being with me today. And I would like to encourage you to go share the message with your friends and family members. Share. And you could also go and join the mentorship program if you have not yet done that by going to sundayadelajablog.com/mentorship. sundayadelajablog.com/mentorship. I would also like to encourage you to write to hmt@godembassy.org. That's History Makers Training. If you want to come to Ukraine to visit us, write to hmt@godembassy.org. If you just want to visit us, not for HMT, you could write to guest@godembassy.org as well. And for those of you who want to buy my books, you can buy them in bulk and cheaper if you write to dsasbooks@gmail.com. But you can also buy them on Amazon. It's a bit more expensive, but you can buy them on Amazon too. But you could also read them for free on Kindle Unlimited. For those of you who want to be receiving our messages on WhatsApp, we commit to be sending them to you on a daily basis. Just write our number down and send your telephone number to us. Our number is +38 098 596 3838. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for your time. We'll be back tomorrow and we'll see you. Peace.
Hello, my name is Abraham. I come from Indonesia. I'm a pastor, also a director of Impact Asia Pacific. I'm really blessed by come here, and I see many things that I feel that it's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm full with wow. When I see many things here, hear the testimony, hear the preaching of Pastor Sunday, that I feel that I never meet the church and the pastor like Pastor Sunday Adelaja. He's an extraordinary man for me, that I inspired by his preaching, his life, his testimony, and the church members' testimony, his leaders, and how he trained and equipped his leaders to be history makers is so wonderful. And I think that, can I do the same like he did? But I believe that there is no limit. With God, everything are possible. So I invite every one of you can come to Kiev, to Ukraine, especially to joining with the History Maker School, the school that not just theoretical school, but practical school, to transform the inner mentality, block mentality in you, and put inside of you a new paradigm, so you can get the right vision of the kingdom, right paradigm of the kingdom, and you will move dynamic for His kingdom and bring down His kingdom to the earth and restores the earth. Jesus bless you all.
If you have been watching our videos and maybe you enjoy them, maybe you don't enjoy them, but still, we need you to help us spread the word. And for that to happen, we only need you to take 5 little steps. Please help us spread this word by liking the video. Then, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We also need you to press the notification button, and the way to do that is to click on the bell. You see the bell there? Click on it. Then, of course, leave your comments. Let's know what you're thinking about each video. And finally, we need you to go and share the word. Share this video on your Facebook timeline, on your Instagram, and every other platform that you have. All right? Let's win the world for Christ. Thank you so much.